Chair. Thank you, committee members. My name is Lily Tang Williams, and I live in Ware, New Hampshire, and I represent myself as a former Chinese immigrant from the People's Republic of China. I was born and grew up in China. Before I came to this country, I was an assistant law school professor in Shanghai. I decided to fly China for America, not go to Europe, because I truly believed our founding fathers document the Declaration of Independence. All men are created equal. I first landed in Austin, Texas when I was about 24 years old without speaking much English. And I live in a white neighborhood, 98% white. And I went to graduate school in UT Austin, also mostly white. And I can tell you about my personal experience. Everybody was so nice and welcoming. They helped me to adapt to a new country, and they offered me the free rides to go to grocery stores because I was very poor. I only borrowed $100 to come to this country. And they donated clothing, cooking stuff, household items to me, including blankets and sheets. See, my English was very poor. My classmates were very nice to me and offered me to borrow their notes and help me with school project. I also met my future husband the first night in Austin, Texas. And later we married after dating for 2 years. His entire family members were white. They welcomed me and with warmth and with trust. Actually, they just loved me. And I feel so blessed, of course, to have a family in America because I come here alone. I did not have anybody, any family and friends were close to me. And so be honest with you, we raised 3 race children, mixed race children. And I lived in America now for a total of 88, so 32 years. I have never experienced the discrimination due to my skin color or my race, except one incident. It was a road rage insult comment and from a lady. Of course, I stood up for myself and she was gone. And I'm living American dream today. Consider my humble past from a totalitarian country. And I love this country. I strongly reject critical race theory. I'm here to support this bill because this critical race theory is infecting our country now for years. I learned about history of American slavery. I also learned history about discrimination against Chinese Americans, Japanese Americans. And I loved Dr. King, whose famous speech, "I have a dream." And since the civil rights movement, America has come a long way. I remember that so many people of the color today got elected into government offices and own homes, have businesses, and I have lots of friends also from all walks of life. I do not agree America is a systemic racist country. Otherwise, why would the millions immigrants want to come to this country and have come to this country from all over the world to better their lives? They wanted to come here to achieve American dream. Critical race theory is based on skin color and race, pure and simple. It creates hatred. It creates division that our country really don't need right now. I think it's the tool to be used by the radical left to divide and conquer. I grew up during the reign of Mao, the dictator you should all know, right? I hope so. And experienced his entire 10 years cultural revolution with my own eyes. I was a little child. Let me tell you, this racist theory is a technique similar to what happened to us during the Mao's regime. It separates citizens into two big giant groups, victims who are oppressed, and oppressors are the white people, especially white males that I happen to marry to one. And let me also express, I was terrified because I remember Mao used getting rid of whole, like destroy the 4-0 campaign to basically to use the young Red Guards to achieve absolute power. He became a god during the Cultural Revolution control. His regime controlled 1.3 billion human lives. And he divided the citizens into 10 classes, 5 red, like me, red child from a workers class, and the 5 blacks. You can easily find out what they are. I don't want to get into specific those 10 classes here, but he urged the Red Guards, those people who worship him, who were young, I live, who did not know the history, to publicly shame, and the black classes people have to come out to kowtow, to basically denounce themselves, so-called their blackness instead of whiteness. And they also beat them up if they don't do criticize correctly. When I saw what happened last summer in our country, months and months of riots and looting and the public shaming people, if you don't join the new movement, some people may support the Black Lives Movement, but
stop for a second, please. Could you please wrap it up? I want to keep everyone's testimony equal, and you've had quite an amount of time. I find the testimony fascinating. Could listen to it all day, but I want to be fair.
You have to unmute again.
Thank you. So I wanted to just testify that I witnessed 10 years cultural revolution. I don't really want that happen to our country because America is a home. We have no place to go. If we lose America as a free country, we can deal with individual cases of racism and the police brutality, but we have so much in common. As American citizens, we love this country. We want to have the best for our kids and our future. So please support this bill, and this bill is going to, I think, not silence the another side. We can still have discussions and conversations, but you don't use taxpayers' money to support critical theory. Thank you very much.